All right, Leos. Happy birthday season, Leos. I hope you are all doing well. We're going to look at your monthly love reading for August 2024. Thank y'all so much for tuning in, for trusting my guidance. I am your conscious soul reader. My name is Cody. For those of you who are brand new to my channel, thank y'all so much for your curiosity. Thank you so much for checking out the vibe. Hit that subscribe button if you like the vibe. That notification bell will let you know every single time I'm energetically called to come live to bring you a reading. So be sure to hit that as well. If you'll notice in the description box, I have my link tree there. That is how you get a hold of me for a personal reading. If you're interested in those, that'll take you to my website. Once you book a reading, I will get that set up with you on the schedule. Thank y'all so much for being here. Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, Leos. This is going to be for your energetic check for love. If you're already a YouTube subscriber, welcome back. Thank y'all for your continued love and support. As you well know, we're going to do singles first, and then we'll do the couples, partnerships, relationships second. If you're having issues in a connection, we'll look at that second. If you are independent on your own, open to the idea of love, if you've got your eye on somebody specific, we'll take a look at that in the first half of the reading. All right, let's get started. Here we go. So for Leo, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, single Leos. What is coming in for Leo for August? Thank you. World card. Ten of Swords, Page of Wands, Six of Pentacles. I feel like you have completed some old karmic cycles. I feel like you've completed some old cycles and you're ready to go ahead and move on. The Ten of Swords has you completely done with something where you've learned quite a bit. And I think with this Page of Wands and the Six of Pentacles, you're ready to start seeing what's out there. How is it out there in the old dating pool, right? So you're getting ready. You're getting ready to start making yourself more available, putting yourself out on the scene, getting out into the world with the World card, right? And I can't help but notice on this particular deck, connection is the intention. Okay. So that's great success, great achievement, great accomplishment. So you've successfully closed some old cycles. I think you're ready to start manifesting and creating new attractions. Here's that Four of Wands that just wanted to float out. You're ready. All right, let's see what crosses or compliments my single Leos for the month of August. Crosses or compliments, single Leos. Got that Page of Swords, learning, communicating, King of Swords, Two of Wands, Temperance. Okay. You may be, some of you, going online. Others of you may be learning how to communicate and convey what kind of partnership that you're focused on, that you're really hoping for. This is not so much in an energy of like desperate hope, but this is that King of Swords is somebody who's using their head over their heart. They're not really so much more into the emotional side of things or into the, passionate, superficial attractions anymore. This is somebody who's very intelligent about any choices or decisions being presented going forward. And the Temperance card says that they're looking for that alignment, for some sort of really beautifully balanced, aligned connection. Four of Pentacles, Queen of Wands says you're holding back until you get that exact right fit, that exact right match that would be worth that long-term investment. The Page of Swords is seeking, looking, putting yourself out there, starting to have these conversations, learning new ways to speak, figuring out how to convey and communicate this. Five of Swords fell out. Excuse me. All right. What is the best that can be achieved? What's the best that can be achieved? King of Pentacles. Oh, yes. all that hard work and effort paying off. Here's another pairing. We've got the Page of Pentacles and the King of Pentacles. Earlier we had the King of Swords and the Page of Swords. Okay, these are both very grounded, practical ways of doing things. Very different for Leo. Very different for Leo to be very grounded, very practical. I have the Knight of Wands with that Nine of Swords, saying that this way of kind of being super free spirited and happy go lucky and come what may, and you know, throwing caution to the wind kind of approach to connection is something that you're moving away from because of how incorrectly it's gone before. The Tower card and the Nine of Swords says you're pretty concerned that things are going to end up the way they have so far. So I do feel like you're, with the successful closing of these old cycles and this readiness to learn about somebody new, to start sparking up conversations. The best that can be achieved is all of that hard work paying off, all of that reward down the road for you, just kind of making sure you were ready, making sure you're ready for that next thing, not just jumping into something else just because, or taking that leap of faith to get back out there after being rejected, like immediately just jumping right back out there and, oh, well, I'll get with somebody else quick. I've been putting people off just to be with this person. I've got many people in the wings just waiting to be with me. You didn't do it that way. You kind of pulled back from that energy. You held back from that Six of Swords. You healed. You moved away from the chaos. You calmed down. Look at this. The freaking Hermit, the High Priestess. You went into this kind of more spiritual approach of doing things in a very peaceful, calm way, where you detached yourself. You detached yourself from the world, from the situation. Ten of Pentacles, to do that lasting work, that work that's going to build you up to something way more solid and secure. What's the foundation? What's the foundation for single Leos? What's that foundation, please? Foundation. Queen of Wands came out sideways. So, you're human. You still want to go by a little bit of the way you were. You still want to attune into that. But this Queen of Swords with the Ace of Pentacles and the Six of Swords reminding you how much further you've gone and what's to come in next because of you doing this work to heal and taking advantage of the opportunity to advance forwards based on what you've learned, based on a more honest approach, on more truthful and transparent conversations to start. Okay, so the Queen of Wands sideways, it's still, detaching. You're still detaching from those old ways, that old programming, right? Your habits, your ways of creating connections in the past. Knight of Wands, Three of Pentacles, okay? The Tower, Nine of Pentacles, Two of Cups, right? So moving quickly from independence to connections to player energy to back to independence to, round and round you go, right? Let's see. What's that past energy? What's that past energy for Leo? Leo singles, past energy. Thank you. Three of Wands, Two of Pentacles. Yeah, whatever's here. Let's see what sticks. Let's see what sticks. Any old thing. If I like it, and if I'm attracted to it, let's go for it. Why not? And three and the Two of Wands, 3 to the 2 is just kind of you maybe getting things a little bit out of order. Putting your passions ahead of building the connections, and then maybe trying to figure out, okay, now that I'm all intimate and bonded with this person, now how do I try to make this work? Trying to figure out, the backwards way. Queen of Swords, Three of Swords. Having these harsh truths of that not quite being it. Four of Pentacles, Nine of Pentacles, right? Quickly making these decisions to move back into a more independent state. Round and round, in and out, up and down. Okay. What is the future outcome for Leo? Future outcome for Leo. What's that future outcome for Leo? Leo's singles. Queen of Cups is trying to come out. 10 of Cups. Beautiful. Queen of Cups is, receiving a love worthy of your devotion, of your commitment, of everything that you have to offer. The outcome here, right? This big risk, 10-10, completions, success, accomplishment. You know that this is worth the risk, whatever you're doing. This is going to manifest that forever, the forever after. Queen of Swords, King of Wands, lovers, right? You know that this is going to create a very good pairing for you. This is manifesting and creating divine pairings for you. I see that you've done work. You figured some things out. You've lessened your intensity of focusing on the incorrect things. You've had some realizations. You learned a lot of lessons, and now you're closing out some old cycles of the way you used to do things. I think you're having a way more grounded, practical approach to creating connections moving forward. And this is ultimately turning out to really bode well in your favor to create the results you're looking for. I believe the results you're looking for are right on the other side of you choosing to shake things up and do things differently. The Wheel of Fortune is about the ebbs and flows, right? Ups and downs. Creating your own circumstances based on things you've learned. Figuring out old cycles and learning how to do things differently. Figuring out a new way of being. You're talking differently. You're thinking differently. You're communicating in a different way, from a different approach, from a different outlook, from a different perspective. And so now this has a way more successful outcome. This is a very successful outcome for you. We love to see it. I kind of want to clarify some things just because. What's the time? 12. Cool. Okay. I want to clarify the Queen of Wands sideways. Why is the Queen of Wands sideways? Eight of Pentacles. Okay, so when Eight of Pentacles reverses, this is about you not quite getting the lessons, right? And still having some work to do. As grounded and practical and methodical as your plan is, and how different it feels, and how, if it's different, it must be good, because so far what you've been doing ain't been working. And so if it's something different, it must be the exact right thing to do, right? But this is about you really committing to the idea and dedicating yourself. Because if you're not all in, you can tell the world anything you want to tell it. Look, I've worked, I've healed, I'm ready, I'm open for love. But universe, source, God, spirit, whatever you want to call it, they're going to know. They're going to know much, much, much better what is truly on your heart and on your soul. They're going to know. You can't fake what's really inside. So in order for you to truly change and transition away from the way you were, this is about you diving deep into that commitment and dedicating yourself all the way. It's hard work. It's definitely hard work. You could be really concerning yourself and trying to figure it out. There's the Page of Swords again, learning through spirituality, through you isolating yourself and really truly diving deep and committing all the way to understanding and knowing what it is that you're dedicating yourself to here. And it's not about dedicating yourself to, a result, an outcome, an expectation or whatever. It's dedication to self, to figuring out who you are, what you do, what works and what doesn't work. Where do your feelings reside from, right? And how do you create your external circumstances based on what's coming from within? I mean, there's lots of discovery, lots of learning, but it's a matter of how much effort are you willing to put in. There's a gajillion distractions. There's a gajillion distractions in the world. The world is designed that way to take you away from your higher self. So how committed and dedicated are you? Whenever you're presented with choices and options, what do you choose? What are you choosing? Are you choosing distraction? Or are you going to take on the challenge and commit to figuring out what you need to know? Tuning out everything that you've already done a lot of, right? That was my big thing. When I turned off everything that was a distraction to my growth, to my expansion, to my involvement, when I turned it all off, because I felt like I've done enough of it. And when you start to see these things repeat, you know, there's no new movies coming out, there's no new music. Everything is a sample, an example of something else, and it's all regurgitated, it's all recycled, and it's starting to get a little repetitive. And I get a little tired of it. And not only that, but you're tired of the results you're having. So when you decide to finally shut off every piece of distraction, it's so cleansing. It's like shutting off a channel that prevents you from seeing what you're meant to be and who you are driven towards. This world is full of distractions, and if you're allowing to give them the time of day, then they will take over. They will absolutely take over. It's a matter of where you're choosing to focus. Wherever your attention goes is where your manifestations tend to grow. Choices and options, always, 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 always. Isn't that fun? I don't always choose well, but I try to do better than I did the day before. That's pretty much the best you can do. And you're going to slip, and you're going to have moments where you just kind of like, you know, it's figuring it out. We're not light switches. We don't just automatically, okay, I'm different. Bing. If that was the case, everybody would do it. It would just be that easy. We could go in and out. It's difficult. It's difficult to deprogram and reprogram. So give yourself grace. Give yourself grace. And when you decide to commit to something, have integrity. Have integrity for the choices that you're making. I was just having that discussion earlier. Yes, we could watch a movie, or we could alternate. We could entertain and then study. Entertain, study, entertain, study. We could study. We need to study. We need to learn. We need to kind of mix it up a little bit. So being balanced, right? Let's see. What's coming up? I want to see what this is doing. We're going to look at the love oracle. Closing old cycles, doing things differently. While I don't see, something coming in currently, I see that this is the groundwork. This is the groundwork in order for you to start creating opportunities to test what you've learned, to start applying what you've learned so that you can be prepared for what's coming in. Unfinished business, date, and single has come out. Now, I had said you close some old cycles, but then that Queen of Wands coming out sideways is talking about potentially being tempted, falling off track a little bit, losing your focus, getting distracted. What else can I tell Leo here? Do two more. One more. Okay, what can I tell Leo? Friends. Text message at the bottom of the deck. Got secret crush. Ooh. Okay. All right. So we have you kind of rolling the dice, taking big risks, making these strategies to have new, bold leaps of faith towards something different, a different outcome, right? We're looking at big changes here, major changes. You're looking at a lot of growth, cycles completing so that you can ascend into these new ways of being. I've got secret crushes and friends coming out here. You could be creating opportunities to notice things you may have not noticed before based on changing your thinking, changing your outlook, changing your perspective. There could be things that are popping up that you may not have even given the light of day to before. But now it's a possible consideration because of the changes you've done, because of all of this growth and expansion. You're considering things you had not considered before. We've got the potential here for something coming back around. This may present an opportunity for you to, test what you've learned. Just because somebody comes back into our life and they express grief and sadness for a heartbreak, and they sometimes test to see if you would like a reconciliation, doesn't always mean we have to allow for the reconciliation. But you may also have this test coming back in as well. So the test of the past, right? The past is something that it just depends on the situation. It depends on what you've experienced. It depends on you. It depends on your growth. It depends on their growth, all the things, right? So rarely, 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 rarely do people come back into union and make it work. On the rare occasion, when we do come back into reconciliation, it's not only about what brought you both apart, but what is different. And again, this change and evolvement that you're experiencing, whether or not it is for a connection or for self, is inevitable, and it automatically needs to happen no matter what. We have to change. We have to evolve. We have to ascend. Because if you're sitting in stagnation, you also stop the energetic flow around you, and things start to become more redundant. Things start to become more routine. Things stop flowing to you. You start to experience more resistances and blockages in your life because you have stopped allowing for that energetic flow to happen. We are constantly being presented with opportunity to grow, learn, evolve, and change. So to resist and refuse these opportunities is to completely deny yourself the opportunity to meld into your best possible self, ultimately, anyway. I'm always fearful of people who don't change, who, stay in their routines forever and ever, amen. I'm fearful of that. I find that to be a bit claustrophobic personally. I find it to be a bit restrictive and very, very limiting to the potential of everything you are and could be. This is the greatest supercomputer in the entire world. And to stick it in a redundant program of, habits and, autopilot experience is kind of sad, honestly. It's honestly a little bit sad to put that much restriction on something so powerful and creative and um, infinitely capable, you know? So I digress. Looking back though, when we are looking back, we need for things to be different because you can't just come back into union with somebody and everything repeat because you'll just end up where you were before. Okay, so they have to have had drastic change. You have to have had drastic change, and it has to be to the betterment of what would have been a good connection. And then you both support each other, continuing to grow and evolve, back in union. Rarely, rarely does that work. Rarely do you get both people on the same page to want to work on themselves and support one another doing so to try again. Um, so there could be an opportunity for you to test what you've learned, to really have some closure and some resolve over something from the past. Especially with the world card coming out in the first place, you may have that opportunity right off the bat. And you may feel so good about this that you have, evolved past your past pain, that you're ready to move on to something new. You're ready to release that part of yourself that was holding on to the resentment, the anger, the pain, the frustration, the sadness, the grief, what have you, releasing that to open that space up to receive something in that is more positive, more loving, more nurturing, more expansive, more more assisting to your future, something that looks like a positive meld, right? Okay. We have text messages, fear, you got to fear something new. I do see this, that's that underlying feeling, right? That's that feeling that universe mirrors back to you. This is what you're projecting. You can say and tell universe, the world, people, everybody. I mean, humans may believe it because we can talk all day long. People can talk a pretty good game, but what you truly feel and think inside is what universe knows and operates off of. So that's why it is so imperative to do that inner work, to really work on self so that you are projecting and mirroring what it is you want to draw into you. So the new love and this fear, you're uneasy about this. You could be naturally suspicious of people trying to create new connections with you until you feel nice and secure. You're taking it so slow, like you're really building this. Like we're just going to be friends for as long as possible. You may not even talk on the phone. You may only, do DMs for a long time. May not even give out that phone number just yet. It may be coming later, something like that. We've got addiction and regret back here. So from this toxic attachment that you had before, from this painful past, from your realizations, right? There's a lot of regret. A lot of times you go back and you look back and you kind of kick yourself. You chose it. You chose it. So even if it was hell on earth, if it was crap, if it was garbage, if it was a decision that broke you both apart, you chose it, right? You picked that. You picked this thing. There could be, some addictions that got in the way of your connections in the past. And there is regret for those addictions, regret for that ability to allow those things to be created in your connections. And now you fear of what else you're going to have to find out and figure out and learn how to deal with, or, discover and uncover or whatever. I've got healing and relationship out here. So the healing that you do is very, very important in order for you to create the relationship that you truly are wanting. We all want that peaceful connection where you don't want for anything. You don't fear. You don't have anxiety. You don't question it. You don't worry about it. It's just natural. It feels beneficial. It feels like this organic blending that was meant to be. And that's where you want to evolve to. That's where you want to build yourself into. Ultimately, that is the goal, right? To stop having to relearn all over again, to stop having to do it again and again and again, so that you can just be, so that you can just love and create and continue to evolve until you're done. And then you can tiptoe off into the tulips. All right. Couples, partnerships, relationships, situationships, marriages. If you are in a connection with another person or some other people, I don't know what you crazy kids are doing these days. We're going to take a look at it now. If you're having issues in your connections, we will take a look. Oh, it's 4:20 on my clock right now. All right, let's look. Here we go. What does Leo, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, what do they need to know about their connection? What do they need to know about their connection? They're having issues in their connection. What do they need to know? Right off the bat. Oh boy. Moon card and 4 of Cups. Very bothered by the disillusion. You are just right on the edge of letting this go. You are right there. You're right there. You're sick and tired. You are sick and freaking tired of all the confusion, the anxiety, the the questioning of everything. You're over it, and you are just right there. You are right there. You are just about to just boot this whole thing. Yeah, you're faced with this difficult decision. What do you do at this time? You're kind of following your heart to make this decision, no matter what needs to be made, no matter what needs to be done. Temperance High Priestess back here. What crosses or complements Leo? Crosses or complements Leo? Crosses or complements? Six of Swords, Knight of Swords. Okay, so as quickly as this is happening, and as much as your mind is made up, and pretty much assertively kind of making your intentions known, you're still managing to stay peaceful, to stay calm. This is almost you not being reactive at all. You're not reactive at all. And this is to a point of you, you're moving quickly. Don't get it twisted. You're moving quickly. And it's as if you're already ready for this plan. It's already, you snap back from this so quickly from a place of peace that this kind of knocks your person back a little bit. It knocks them back a little bit. I've got the Empress, the Devil card. This is somebody who really goes with it. I was like, were they planning for this all along? Were they waiting for this? They may be now questioning if you really truly love them because of how calm you are. You're just calm. You're just at peace. You're like, okay, well, yeah, since this isn't going well, then let's go ahead and figure out the next moves. And you're not upset. You're not enraged. You're not overly emotional. You're not getting out of character. You're not punching, kicking, sticking up a fight, but you are moving fast. You're quickly moving here. Your mind is kind of like made up. Your mind is made up, and you're moving very quickly towards something different. You want different because you are like right there. Yeah, you are right there. Knight of Wands with the Four of Wands. You just want to be happy. You just want to be happy, and you're sick and tired of feeling confused, lost, scared, upset, unsure, disillusioned. You're feeling like, there's probably some things that are not being told to you, and you just want to know what's going on, but in the same sense, you kind of don't. With the Hierophant falling out. What is the best that can be achieved? Remaining as emotionally independent as possible while you are in your next stages of planning and rebuilding. Both of these individuals have their hearts covered. Okay, so steady as she goes. Steady as she goes. You're starting to figure out what those next moves are. And I don't see you being, and again, like I said, it's not that you're being rude. You're not being mean. You're not being aggressive, assertive, or anything. You're just being detached. You're detached from the whole thing. And it could be sending your person on another level, actually. They may be expecting some sort of emotional outburst from you. They may be expecting a lot of anger or something from you, and you're not giving it. You're not giving it. You're being very supportive of whatever needs to happen, right? Let's just make a plan and let's make this happen. Let's just get on with it. Let's just get on with it. I'm seeing a lot of detachment, but this has a lot to do with you just kind of protecting yourself. We've got the Queen of Wands back here, the Ten of Wands, the Wheel of Fortune, the Devil card, a High Priestess again. So strong focus of you of just kind of figuring out. You're like, let's do this. Let's go. What's the next move? What's the next move? You are putting a lot of this on you. Actually, you're kind of driving this whole thing. I think you're kind of driving this whole thing. This person may be dragging their feet, which is why you're just sitting right there, just waiting. I've seen this before as well, where people get comfortable in their situation. And I was saying this earlier about not changing. If people get comfortable in their situation and they're very happy with the way things are, they're definitely going to drag their feet and try to prolong it as long as possible while they figure out what their next moves are. Right. So I do see you just kind of dragging this person towards some sort of an outcome here. But they like how life is. So they're definitely going to drag their feet. They're going to prolong this as long as possible, to kind of figure out how serious are you. Is there anything they can do to change your mind? Which it might be a little too late with all of this emotional protection happening out here, and somebody already kind of, mentally checked out. It's kind of mentally checked out with that Six of Swords. What's the foundation? What's the foundation for Leos? Thank you. Full card in reverse. So this is you're hiding the fact that you are really insecure about what's to come next. Yeah, you're hiding that fact. You got the Seven of Pentacles, the Page of Pentacles. You have this, brilliant offer, this brilliant idea. Let's just go. Let's make this plan happen. Let's make this new plan. And you're behind it 100%, and you're pushing for this. The Seven of Pentacles, the Chariot, Three of Wands has you concerned, though. What is the next thing? Like, what's that next step? You're almost worried, if this person tells you that they want to stay in this connection, are they going to be able to do the work? Are you going to waste your time? Are you going to waste your time dealing with somebody who is going to trick you into staying into something to try and manipulate you? Or are you able to see them for what they are? You're being very careful that you don't make bad judgment here, that you don't make any bad decisions, that you're not being too naive or being taken for granted here as well. There's a lot of protection here. You do not want to be made a fool. You do not want to be made into a fool. And I see that being the most important thing for you. What's that past energy? The past energy for Leo. Thank you. Knight of Cups. See, this guy is naive. This guy's very naive. They're very trusting, very affectionate, very loving, very open with their heart, very giving of themselves, of what they love. This person maybe kind of romanticizes relationships a little bit and may have overly romanticized it too early. Three of Pentacles, Justice, Page of Swords. Somebody here, just kind of learning a lot. There's a lot of karmic consequence coming from just setting your goals to being, overly romantic and overly chivalrous and overly this and overly that, like kind of being way, way, way too romanticized, setting your sights and your goals on romance and the whole fantasy of the connection and just kind of figuring things out. But I think you're learning a lot about the truth of people and how they really are. There was a lot of lessons here with your naivety, with your open heart, lots of hardcore life lessons, very hardcore life lessons that'll last you for a lifetime. You will never forget these lessons. What's that future outcome What's that future outcome for Leo? Yikes. Tower. Okay. There we have the Strength card, the Emperor, the Four of Swords, right? More peace. More peace over this chaos, but that is demanding for this to not get out of hand, right? Yes, everything is changing. Yes, everything is in this upheaval. Yes, this is um, completely unexpected, out of the blue, for you to have to, kind of go into this boss energy of handling this with a lot of authority, a lot of bravery, authority. This is you exerting yourself in a very strong way, that you are not about the way things have gone, and you are moving on from the crap, the garbage, the chaos. Yesterday, as of yesterday, this decision is coming in immediately, that you want peace, you want balance. You're demanding to have inner calm over everything you've experienced so far. You're over it. You're over all the crap, all the garbage, the drama, the chaos, the issues. This is a version of a divine pair with the Emperor and the Strength card. The Strength card is that Empress taming the beast, right? Taming that beast, overcoming, having control, taming. This is having a lot of control over that piece, like authority, like with authority. I demand a peaceful resolution. This is almost like saying or else. This is that kind of button, right? That's that button. You don't want to push me, right? That's kind of saying you don't want to push me. If you want you don't want crazy. You're going to want this to be nice and calm and nice and peaceful, right? So I think, Leo, I think you are advising your person to not scorch earth, because they don't want to go toe to toe with you on scorching earth, because you will reinvent the game. I think you will reinvent the game. Oh my gosh. Okay. So peace is great. I'm a fan of peace. I think that is paramount, and I think that is exactly the right thing to do. And if you are in an environment that is refusing you to have peace, to have a peaceful resolution, to have a calm environment in which to think, talk, discuss, plan, operate, and function out of, putting your foot down and exerting yourself is the thing to do. I hate it. I hate doing that. I'm a lover, not a fighter. Um, I God, I hate confrontation so much. I hate it so much, but I'll do it. And the reason I hate it is because you won't like me when I'm angry. I just don't like it. I don't like having to go there. I don't want to be that kind of person, and I'm scared of who I am when I go there. Right? You're just like kind of you're warning this person. Look, you don't want to take me there. You don't want to do this. If you want to go crazy, we can go crazy, but it would be advised of you to not do that. You know. Yikes. Yikes, bikes. That's interesting. I almost I almost feel like it's Sophia from The Color Purple. I'll kill him dead before I let him beat me. I want to tear like I will tear this whole house down before I let you slam one more door. Before I let you, break one more thing in this house. I will tear this whole thing down to the ground. Do not go there with me. It's kind of what I'm feeling. It's kind of what I'm getting here. Wow. Woo. Take me back to my marriage days. Yikes. And that was partnership connection. When you're in a connection and it just goes toxic and it goes south and everybody's just kind of like holding into ego and digging down deep and standing their ground in the sense of, be damned your feelings. No, Now feelings have kind of gone out the window and we want to just take swipes, right? And you're just like, you know what? I'm not doing it. I'm not going to play this. Things are changing, and I mean immediately. I don't care what it is. If it's you, if it's us, if it's whatever, this is no more. But I will warn you, don't get crazy. Don't take me to crazy, because I'll show you crazy. That's like, I hate how people use that derogatory term, calling everybody bitch. I hate that. I was like, bitch, I'll show you, bitch. Don't go there, or I will take you there. Kind of what I'm getting here, Leo. I've known some Leos, and they will happily rise to the occasion should you take them there, but they don't want to. Leos are also quite lovely. Something about being in July, being that close to Cancer months, super lovey and loyal, and they just want to lay around and be petted and, adorned and have a happy house. And that's that fifth house energy. They like love and creation and joy and fun, and so to have a tumultuous household is uncomfortable. You want it different. All right, here we go. What else do my lovely Leos need to know? We're going to go one time through the magic 8. Spring. We got spring. Spring has sprung. Oh, yep. 2 stubborn people, baby. Are you stubborn, Leo? Are you stubborn, you fixed fire sign, you? It's okay. Nothing more confusing than having 2 stubborn people that are wishy-washy, that can't decide, that are in one day, out the next, all in one day, couldn't care less about you the next. Nothing's more infuriating. Well, signs point to yes. So if you've been asking a question, signs point to yes. Okay. Whatever that question is in your head. Will this work? Should I try? Should I leave? We got wants to romance you and the mutual connection at the bottom. Now, you guys may have a lot of mutual connections that are trying to add to this, right? You guys are so good together. We can't see you with anyone else. I can't, God, I just love y'all together. I can't believe y'all are having problems, things like that. Trying to change your mind or take you back to the good old days or make you forget about things, or could be that going on with some of you. We're going to go one more time for this deck, and that is it. We've got in their head. Now I have the cranberries in my head. We've got new love. They may have been accusing you of having another relationship, another partnership. They could be in their head about, wanting to start over, how to reboot, how to start over with you. Could be another possibility. We've got runner situation out here. Runner situation. So this is somebody who does not face their problems. They don't have accountability. There could be a lot of that going on here where people are just kind of, instead of dealing with the problems, just kind of sweep it under the rug, or, that old saying, we agree to disagree. I can't stand it. Let's just agree to disagree. What that means is that there is a very serious difference of opinion, and it is, probably moving back to this whole statement of, we've got 2 stubborn people, right? There's 2 stubborn people, almost to the point of not even really being able to communicate with each other. You'd rather not say anything. You'd rather not say anything than have to say something that makes you feel like you're not even accepted, or that your person is not going to hear you, or that they're not even going to show you any accountability or have any kind of regret or remorse for their actions, that they're just the kind of person who would rather be very evasive when it comes to solving issues, right? This is somebody who can't seem to solve issues with you. They just tend to, fight or flight, which is a trauma experience that they're having. That's something that really needs to be dealt with. You need to be able to face your problems. You need to be able to face the conversation. Be an adult. Have the conversation, right? Have the conversation. There's no communication, unsaid things, right? Just avoiding things altogether for the sake of peace is only causing more disruption. We've got run the other way out here. So if you got a runner situation, Spirit's telling you stop chasing. Stop chasing that runner. Don't give in and give them what they're looking for here. This is somebody who is looking for a lot of coddling, for their enabling of their inability to face their issues. Spirit is telling you, do not reinforce that behavior. Do not enable that type of reaction. You cannot condone that. You cannot feed into that or allow that to have any kind of place in your connection. There could be some spying going on. If y'all aren't talking and there's things happening and there's no communication, how else are you going to get answers? How else are you going to know what's going on, right? So you're going to be at this point where you're going to figure it out for yourself. If your person's not talking, or if you're not talking to them and they're not talking to you, then best know that somebody's trying to figure out what's going on. There's only so many blanks we can fill in before we drive ourselves crazy, and we just want to, ultimately be pushed to kind of find out. I'm going to find out. If you're not talking, I'm going to find out, right? Yeah, because I just feel strongly like you guys need a conversation to happen. And if y'all can't talk to each other, and you feel like there's this inability to kind of break through these walls and these boundaries y'all put up with one another, ushering in a non-biased assistant is not a problem. This is not taboo. This does not make you less than. And it doesn't have to be anything that breaks the bank. You could have somebody who gives you some pieces of knowledge. Go in there and say, look, we're looking for some tools for better communication. We're looking for tools to help us to be able to have more comfort with each other, to have these talks, to be able to understand what our next moves need to be, right? You can go in, pay, 50, 60, $80 out of pocket for one session for a month and just, kind of marinate on that, work towards that, and then seek, other tools on the side and then fill in the blanks and then go back to source. I mean, there's ways to do it. There is. There's some therapy that is, very affordable out there. They do have it. They have hotlines as well that are free, 100% free. And there's a million gajillion life coaches and mentors and gurus and spiritual leaders and tarot readers all over the interweb. Trust your vibration. Trust the message. Know if it's meant for you. It makes you vibrate. If it makes you try to feel confused or like you're trying to force it into your world, that message is not for you. And really use discernment and take your time to vet the person that you're seeking advice and guidance from, because there's a gajillion out there and it's real easy to get taken down the wrong path by somebody who, just happens to catch your eye or says a buzzword that you resonate with, or happens to really make some cute content or a very zazzy content that catches your attention, right? We want to go a little bit deeper than that. Make sure that you're getting credited sources for guidance. And on that note, I feel like that was the reading for the month of August 2024 for my beautiful Leo, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus. Singles were first, connections were second. Thank y'all so much for trusting my guidance, tuning in, all of your views, your likes, everything. I'm greatly appreciative of each and every single one of you. Hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. If you like the vibe, that notification bell will let you know every single time I'm energetically called to bring you a reading. I do the monthlies every month, and I'm going to do collectives. This is your chance to get a heavily discounted rate on one of my readings done live. If you're interested in a personal private reading, all that is in the description box of this video there in the link tree, as well as the other pages that I also go live on and posting videos on all the time. I hope to catch each and every single one of you very, very soon. Thank y'all again so much for being here. Until next time, I'm wishing you all the love, light, and positive vibes you can possibly stand. Y'all take care. Bye.